Hello again, hey Sinistello. Today we got to make sure to publish a new version of the game, but let's just pick up where we left off from earlier. Fix issue with skill points 10 versus skill points 9, and the adventurer's pain bumping the scroll. Fun tasks. All right, so when we have 10 versus when we have 9, does this still happen? No. Cool. Consider showing placeholders for battlers, maybe even just faint outlined rectangles. These people only need to learn once. I don't think we're going to do this. Yeah, I'm going to drop this. Yeah. All right, PR about localizing. Should look into whether we can default the language of the player's OS setting. I think we did this already. And we have to have done this. Otherwise, the person who played in Spanish wouldn't have seen Spanish strings. Where do we do this? Localization, locale data, locale menu. What figures out your current local settings saver? Figure out first time settings. Figure out initial locale. Yeah. How does this work? Get locale from the translation server. Okay. Yeah, sure. Sounds good. And the only place we use an @ is with multi-line formatted strings. So just search for $. Okay. I guess we only have 3 of these, but I think everything just works fine. Yeah, I don't think we have a problem with that. What about @ quotation marks? This is all translated just fine. Yeah, I don't think there's an issue here. Okay. So maybe I look at my markdown file on this. We don't even have anything written here anymore. Okay. Well, we're done with that then. So this is all finished? Yep. Bug, hovering over the enchanter sign to get a new spell crystal will show the tooltip for spells. This isn't even a thing anymore. Same general problem happens if you hover over the extractor lever and then the extractor, but not the other way around. Yeah. It's all out of date, so it doesn't matter. Pixie has a shadow baked into the sprite, so you should probably manifest a hide shadow boolean that defaults to false and set it to true on pixies and fish. Hey, Matt. Your game is flying. You're going to watch that outro and you're going to like it. We have a pixie somewhere in the game. Where? The mines? I don't actually know. I think we put it in the mines. Yeah. And yeah, you can see an issue here. There are 2 shadows. Honestly, it's not. That is kind of bad. Yeah, we should probably do something about it. Fine. All right, and then I wrote that we should do this for fish as well. Never even noticed. Yeah, well, and this is pretty subtle too. Like, I think you'd have to be looking for it. So what, fish have a problem? Because I don't remember this. Oh, I think I know what we did here. Hey, TJ. And hey, the Hulk. You're gonna kill nothing. Now look, they're doing 13 whole damage. Have you ever done 13 damage in your life? I don't think so. So somewhere we have like a fish battler that knows not to get a shadow on it. And it's probably just hard-coded. Yeah, set up fish animation frames. Shadow to hide. Why do I only now get a notification? Twitch is sometimes delayed if you're talking about Twitch. But the Discord one should have gone out. Yeah. How'd the workout go? All right, so Pixie has a shadow baked in the sprite. Does anything else have a shadow baked in? Do we have any other monsters that are flying? No, wait, not just that are flying, that has a shadow in the sprite. Oh, maybe we should do this the same way as we did with the pixie for the bat. So here you can see there's a shadow graphic and the shadow actually changed a little bit. The bat doesn't do that. The bat also probably doesn't float up or down though, right? Why can't I click this thing? What is going on? What is going on there? Huh. I'm trying to just change the... I'm clicking the corner of this to expand it and it doesn't work. Let's just reopen it. Okay, I don't know what's happening. I'm not that bad at using computers. There we go. So there's no shadow in here whatsoever. I guess they're just pixies then, huh? Had 13 damage done to me in junior high. Oh, man. Workout's pretty good. All right, any other ones? Should I even bother looking through these? They have to be flying monsters. Only bats and pixies. That's all I can think of. Yeah, I don't see any other ones. Oh, Phoenix. Phoenix doesn't have a shadow. Does Phoenix have a big shadow? There might be a problem there too. Maybe they cast a tiny shadow. I never thought about that. All right. How big is the shadow that the Phoenix is cast? It's a big shadow. We must double the size of it. Oh, yeah, because we'd have to do that for bosses too. Okay. Honestly, this might not be worth even tackling, but it might be pretty quick to tackle. I spent longer looking into the issue than I have actually doing anything. Anything else? No, that's it. Hey, leave your girl. I'm only half vampire. So do I want to even do something about this? Do we hide this anywhere else? Revive. Shadow scale. Visible equals false. I don't know how I feel about this. Like I said, it's just this one sprite. I don't even know if we use it anywhere. Like, do we even have any other pixies in the game? It's apparent, though. You know, wait, we could do this the easier way. We could just remove the shadow from the pixie sprite. Oh, yeah, I'll do that, I think. Yeah. Why didn't I think of that? All right, so just double click this. And I'm just going to delete all of the darkened pixels there. Is there a magic select tool? Object selection. To do this, so you need to turn this on. Segmentation 300 megabytes. I'll just install it. Let's try it. Sure, why not? Okay, now what? Now we just click. Did it do anything? Is this the object selection? There's a clock. What does this do? Whoa, what am I looking at? I don't know what's going on right now. This is very bizarre. All right, I don't know about that. Flood select. Yeah, this is what I want. Yeah, so I just want to add all of these things. Whoops, not that one. Oh, I don't know how to undo a selection. Oh my God, so bad at the program. All right, what is flood select called? Or it's W, the magic wand, affinity. Press W for flood select. Well, other people use art programs more than I do, so they probably would know this stuff. I wonder how you undo selections. Like, let's say I accidentally click this. Oh, there is an undo, but it didn't work. That's weird. Huh. Okay, so this one's bad. I can't have that. So let's just delete all those. And then how would I delete this? I need to change the tolerance. It doesn't change on the fly. Nope. Whoops. Still not good enough. That's better, but also still not good enough. Still not working that well. I think it's not considering opacity as part of the tolerance equation. Yeah, that's got to be it. Because it's selecting that black, and I'm guessing this is black as well. So now if I set tolerance is 0, what happens? Yeah, it's not doing this. Put a temp layer behind it and color it something so you can see the semi-transparent pixels, and just use rectangle select or an eraser with a pixel brush. Yeah. I just want to see if I could do this in a better way. I guess I could just, delete these. Where's the eraser tool? God, I want to search for this stuff. Is there like a command palette in this program? That would be great. Yeah, I don't know. There's the eraser, right? Erase brush E. Okay, so now we just set this to 1 pixel. Oh, but we need to set the hardness somewhere. Is that what this is? Hardness, yeah, 100%. 100% doesn't work? What am I missing? I wanted to just clear out this pixel. Rope mode, window mode. The pixel brush, it's set at the top as normal. You can put it to erase. Oh. Background color? What am I missing? Might be a modifier key. Alternate mode. Yeah, I need to somehow figure out how to use the alternate mode here. Try Control Shift Alt. Oh, it tells you over here. Drag and command to erase. Ah. Okay. Hold command to erase. Yeah, easy peasy. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so we erase all of that and that and that. And do the same thing over here, here, and here. And then a couple of pixels there and there. And there we go. We're done. That didn't take me incredibly long. All right, so we want to say this is 64 by 40, which we can't do apparently. Once I do that. Selection only, whole document. Hey, Rings. An amazing year at work. Received on-track rating. Have you ever had to deal with a poor manager not recognizing your performance? Did you just leave? Yeah, I don't know if it was poor management exactly. It's always tough to tell because there are also budget constraints when it comes to promotions or bonuses. So one of the jobs I worked at, after a year, I said something like, I deserve to be paid more. And they were like, we'll see what we can do. And they didn't do anything. So I said, okay, I'm leaving. And they're like, what if we made you a lead? What if we did this? What if we did that? I'm like, I'm leaving. So that one I left. But other jobs, I didn't generally care too much about my ratings. So I think what you need to figure out for any of these situations is how much do you care, and also like what constraints exist at that job, and will they always exist? So as an example, let's say you're at, I don't know, Amazon or something, and you've got like a crazy amount of software engineers, right? But let's say on your team, you've got 50. All 50 could be doing the best they've ever done in their entire career. And there's no chance that all 50 get promoted. So it's like, okay, that's a constraint that exists that won't always exist. You probably can't trust that when they tell you that, oh yeah, everyone just did fantastically. Sorry. You can't trust that that's actually the reality, but it might be. Who knows? So yeah, you wait maybe another year and you see, and you're like, well, I like my job well enough. But yeah, maybe they just said, well, you didn't do that well. And then, yeah, maybe, it's like, okay, well, I didn't do a good job telling them how well I did, or my manager isn't aware. So yeah, I think a lot of that comes down to like, what's your specific case? Hi, Morning Adam. I think Morning Adam is my favorite Adam. This is Afternoon Adam though. It's currently 1:17 p.m. What? What? All right, so what is the character? Blue Pixie. I would like to find Blue Pixie, please. Blue Pixie there. Save and hope that that actually worked. Sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, it worked. See you Monday. What if I said it is Monday? What if you can't believe anything? Hang on, I have something stuck in my tooth. And rather than try to get this out subtly, I'm going to get it out unsubtly. This is not working. What if we just never turn the camera back on? All right, hang on a second. Okay, I got it. No, I wasn't going to do that. All right, what other pixies do we have in here? Pixie. We should have 2 other ones? Yeah, 2 other ones. Okay, we just got to do the same thing for all of these. In fact, I wonder if we could copy a selection. Yeah, it doesn't matter at this point. All right, so W is the magic wand tool. We select all of these. Those are easy. And then we press Y and hold command and erase the rest of these. Okay, I'm getting the hang of the program. I'm doing a little bit better. That one's also probably a shadow pixel. I'm not going to delete that. And no one will ever notice. All right, so now export whole document to green pixie. The sizes of these better not have changed. So what should it be? It should be 64 by 40. Is that what it ended up being? 64 by 40. And what about this one? 64 by 40. Okay, so we just had to finish this one. Red pixie. Definitely remember that 2% cost of living raise when I was working as lead for insert corporate America company here. Complaints about my performance are all basically nits. Yeah, and this is why I say it comes down to like, what do you actually want to do about these things? Because if you're happy with your job and you get a 2% cost of living increase and you're like, well, I was already happy with the pay or something, then it's like, well, it's probably not worth leaving for it. But if you needed that increase in money or you felt like you deserved it or you're being underpaid, then it might be a bigger deal for you. And no one's going to tell you what your own values are. They offered me the bag to stay. Mental health was suffering here, though. Yeah. Yeah. Again, this is why I kind of talk about values, because after you figure out your values, you need to come up with a plan, and then you need to actually put that plan into action. And if your plan is to bluff and it leads to them, they call your bluff, then you are in a difficult situation. So there are some companies where you'd probably be like, okay, well, I'm going to leave if you don't pay me more. And then they're like, okay, then leave. And they wouldn't care. They wouldn't be like, oh my God, no, we want to keep you. All right, so that's it. Now I just do this, and then we go back to the mines, and we're good. I feel weird modifying Quickie Joe's artwork. I wrote my letter to escalate my year-end review. I think it's been conducted improperly and ungrounded in some of its aspects. Yeah. I know you've been updating me over DM, so I'm trying to like process what I can say about this on stream. But basically, I think it's good that you're doing this. I also think it's good that, like you said, you're looking at some other things. Yeah, let's just leave it like this for now. Okay, so remove shadows from flying monsters. The pixies all had a shadow baked in to their sprites. This looked strange since we add a shadow. to each character. We either could have stopped adding a shadow or removed them from the sprites. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I removed them for consistency with the other flying characters. Bats and phoenixes. Okay. Expectations are low of it changing anything. At least I've done what I can. I think there's a lot to be said for that. I was recently in a situation like this myself, where I really had to analyze my own values and kind of come up with something. And I alluded to this one day on stream. I said I was really stressed. It was about this thing that I'm still just alluding to and I'm not going to actually talk about. But in the end, yeah, I did something that would let me sleep at night. And everyone, not everyone, like some people I was talking to said it won't result in anything. But it would result in my peace of mind, I think. And I think it did. So I think it was worthwhile to do, even if I didn't move the needle in outside of my own head. Not like I got a better outcome or something. It's just, okay, now when I look back at this 5 years later, I'll be like, well, at least I did what I could have done. Hey, Fuad. Do you recommend learning or developing a game like this for web dev? I heard good things about game dev and want to know if it'll help me to shape better programming concepts or skills. I think if all you want to do is improve your skills, I think just exercising those skills and learning them is probably fine. With that said, I think that if you were to do game dev, it will probably cause you to think in a different way and give you some perspective and clarity. So I'd say it's worth like doing a game jam or just like going through a game tutorial or something like that. Well, a game dev tutorial. So yeah, I think it could be helpful for you. Because there's this quote I really like: every skill you learn doubles your chances at success. This was by the Dilbert creator, Scott Adams, I never remember his name. And at first it sounds like, what? That can't be right. And then I see more and more evidence of this in my life. And the most recent one, I've done a decent amount of video editing, not a ton, but I've done a decent amount because I've made videos for YouTube. And then the other day we were making the outro video or the outro cutscene for Skeleseller. And like I was applying the same general concepts, like fade something in, fade something out, position text, make sure it shows for long enough that the player can read it. I don't know, basic stuff like that I had some video editing experience and I felt like, okay, now it's applicable here in game dev. And I never would have thought it would be applicable for me because they just seem like different enough things. But yeah. And hey, Karada and Dark. Allude. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Hepta. I'll get you image editing, pixel manipulation in no time. Yeah. We just need to process that. All right, so this is done. Violent issue on this. Dragging an item on the ground makes it show as a shadow on the ground. What? This isn't on the ground. Clicking an item on the ground makes it show as the fully opaque image. What? What was I talking about here? I don't even know. Because I don't see any of that happening. Dragging an item on the ground makes it show as a shadow. Yeah, that I see. It's right there as a shadow. But then clicking it does the same thing. Oh, this is one set of repro steps. Okay, I see. You need to drag it, and then while you're dragging it, click the original one, and then it shows filled in. Game C is playable on touch screens. Will it be supported on Android or iOS? I don't think so, because it's not so much the screen characteristics or like capabilities, I should say. It's the screen size that's a problem. So maybe on a tablet it could potentially work, but I don't think it's worth publishing to those storefronts. I think we should just test with Steam. the more you have to support right off the bat, the harder it is to, oh, they just took that from me. The harder it is to get everything working and everything released. Yeah, so you don't even need to drag. So the issue is this: click an item on the ground to pick it up, and then click the same spot on the ground. Doing this changes the shadow item so that it's opaque. I mean, let's look into this. In fact, I'll write a timestamp here. It's 128. Let's see how long it takes to find the problem. Because I don't want to spend very long. This is not a very important bug. So this is coming from town ground item source. We have a you clicked a thing here. Where is that? Oh, no, that's not a thing here. That's weird. There's on hover, on stop hover. Yeah, that's weird. There's no clicking it? How do you click a ground item then? Oh, it's added to the source. Okay, I see. But even this isn't everything, is it? Click. Come on. Huh, strange. Maybe it's added somewhere else. Huh, very strange. Here it is, on click. Clicked item source. Go ahead. All right, so it's something in here. Let's put a print here. Actually, let's not even put the print there. Let's just put a breakpoint there for now. I thought this would be too noisy, but it shouldn't be because it just do clicks. So we spawn a bunch of items so that they don't take one that I want. Then we click this. It breaks in. That's fine. Then, oh, where'd it go? So now it's working. Okay, so that's what I have. Now I click it again, and yes, this gets hit again. I want to ask here in case I'm just missing something, but I've tried all the buttons. Is it possible to scroll the keybinds menu with a controller? No. Yeah, there's a lot of little things we got to fix with controllers. And it's super broken on Linux. Oh, man. All right, so in this case, we just say return, but there's got to be something else that's happening here. Yeah. Although, hold on, did that actually... Yeah, it's returning. So I wonder how that's functioning then. Huh. Interesting. Hey, Goose. Interesting indeed. And now this is a clickable area. Oh, this is a clickable area for something in there. Yeah, so what would make this show up like that? Fake item? What do... Displayed held item. The item source itself has some like thing was picked up somewhere. Where is it? There's get pickup point. Is there a set is held? Here it is. Set is held. Modulate. Yep, right there. Okay, so this must be changed to white. That's my guess. Is it? Well, it doesn't happen from there. But if I click again, maybe it'll work. All right, so modulate gets set. We click it again. It doesn't get hit. No, that's strange. That's very strange. So we're not calling set is held. But this is what sets it to be transparent in the first place. Huh. I'm confused. I'm surprised this is taking this long to even find. I didn't expect the fix to be easy, but I expected the source to be easier to find. So we're not calling set is held when you click it a second time. I'm still not sure what's actually causing it to become opaque on the ground. Click that. Oh, cool. Okay, good, Cinecell. Yeah, thank you for following up on that. I really appreciate that. Also, Toulouse slipped under the radar. Hey, Toulouse. All right, so we don't change the modulate anywhere else. Oh, wait, no, stop flashing is right there. I didn't realize. Maybe this is what we're doing. Oh, thank goodness I did a search. So if I click that, yep, there it is. All right, so what's calling this? Because that's our problem. Reset time to live. Ah, now it's clear. This should be pretty quick to fix then, right? Where's that called from? Here. Interesting. Interesting. It's time to live. It gets frozen in time, doesn't it? Set is held. Is held. Is held should change so that it's time to live doesn't do anything. Bool is held. What? Something controls this. Ground item source must. Process. Aha, here. Update. It's not process. If it's held, don't do anything. Okay, I see. I see the whole problem now. Now I gotta come up with a fix. We could just check to see if you're holding an item here. Oh, wait, that might not work. It might not work because you should be able to click another item, I think. Let me just try running this and see what happens. So if we have a bunch of items on the ground and I click one and then I click another one, nothing happens. Well, that same nothing is about to happen. Except for we just fixed the bug. So yay. Yeah, so I just click anything. It doesn't matter what. But now the bug won't exist. So I click this. It's a shadow. I click the one on the ground. It doesn't do anything different. Nice. Problem solved. And that took 7 minutes. I don't think it was probably worth spending that 7 minutes, but I did it. We check here if you're holding an item so that we don't change the modulate. See commit history of this comment. I want to make this just the tiniest bit smaller. Check here if you're holding. We don't. Does that fit? No. Gotta cut out like one more character. How long is this? It's 107. I don't even know what our line like. Oh, it's 120 total, I guess. So we're 2 characters over. There, done. And now maybe we can pick comment in here. Yeah, nice. Perfect. Okay, great. All right, so fix bug repro was click an item on the ground. It will show as a shadow, and then click that same item on the ground. It will show it'll show opaquely, I guess. This was because we weren't checking to see if you were already holding an item before calling reset time to live, which would call, was it stop flashing? Which would reset the modulate of the item. Why is it better to have it on one line? Because if I'm going to refer to the commit history, I want this to be as tiny as possible. Otherwise, I would have just written 2 lines explaining it here. So it's a very, very minor, superficial thing. Welcome in, Larry. Gotta leave maybe till Monday if I'm not too exhausted for my new role as Volunteer Plus. Oh, that starts? Nice. I hope it goes really well, Leap Year Girl. I'm excited for you. And have a good weekend. And hey, Flair. All right, so that is now fixed. Done, done, done. Automate more of my release process. Have it change automatically. We did that already. Combine scripts into one so that it'll automatically export and then open the game. Or it could just be a guided flow with choices like upload to Steam. Oh, I already did this. I did all of this stuff. Wow, that's the best kind of to-do item. One that was important and that I already did way in the past. Because you can just delete it and feel good about it. Most instances of mouse default cursor shape are buttons that don't emit sound and probably should. Oh, if I said I lazily fixed this, that's probably a good enough fix for me. But did I change this? There are 4 places in the entire code base. Walking to portal. Oh, debug speed up. I don't care about that at all. And what's this one? Oh, yeah. Okay. So just the title screen. I guess I was kind of being lazy here. Credits button and settings button. Do those work? I mean, do they have sound? Let's find out. Yep. 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 Well, what would it take to not be lazy? No, it's not even worth looking into it. Even spending 2 minutes on this would be too long. All right, look into whether we should be disposing of objects differently. There's a Boolean to dispose that I've been ignoring. Yeah, I never looked at this. How many lines of code are we at? I should just get clock so I can respond to people with that. Brew clock. Yeah. Brew install clock. All right, let's just let that run. I'll be able to answer you. All right, so C# dispose. This should be an iDisposable. Implement a dispose method. Yeah, I want to read this and find out what I'm doing wrong. All right, do we have clock now? Yes, we do. So now I run clock on game source. We have 57,000 lines of C# code. Yeah. Clock is count lines of code. I'll link to it. Probably a GitHub page or something, right? Yeah. Clock stands for count lines of code. It's a utility to do just that. Why oof? I think this is pretty normal for a game of this size. All right. Oh. Got it. So that command was pointless. So when I just said I don't want to spend a minute on a to-do item, Flare was like, I'll make you spend 30 seconds on a command. I don't dare to go above 1,000. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. There are only certain games you could make if you do that. But it kind of reminds me of all the other self-constrained programming challenges, like the to fit something into 10 kilobytes or whatever challenge that they have, or code golfing. In fact, actually, I wonder if it'd be fun to do a game jam where it's like your code has to be less than 1,000 lines of code for your game. It's probably pretty hard to enforce this because there are a lot of things you can do to sort of abuse that rule, like commas in C and C++, and functions with side effects, I guess. I like this one. Oh, this hasn't been updated in a long time. But yeah, I mean, as long as I get an estimate, I don't really ever think the number of lines of code matters too much in any project. It just gives you an idea maybe of how big that project is. You figured it out. All right, I got to read this. Dispose method is primarily implemented to release unmanaged resources. When working with the instance members that are iDisposable, it's common to cascade dispose calls. Other reasons for implementing it, for example, to free memory, remove an item that was added, signal the release of a lock. Doesn't allocate or release unmanaged memory. Yeah, I don't care about that stuff. What I care about is this. Yeah, requires implementation of a single parameterless method. Any non-sealed class should have this overload. And I've never understood what this bool represents. And that's what we're going to do right now. So because public non-virtual parameterless dispose is called when it's no longer needed. Its purpose is to free unmanaged resources. I don't ever even have this. I have this one. In the overload, disposing parameter is a boolean that indicates whether the method call comes from a dispose method, its value is true, or from a finalizer, its value is false. Disposing should be false when called from a finalizer and true when called from dispose. In other words, it's true when deterministically called and false when non-deterministically called. Why do you care? Why? That's what I want to know. Body of the method consists of 3 blocks of code. A block for conditional return if it's already disposed. A conditional block that frees managed resources. Block executes if the value of disposing is true. All right, I see. ABC. People had to write a chess bot within a limited number of C# interpreter tokens. Huh, yeah. Yeah, if you want to share it. I might watch the video. Those are generally longer videos. So I'm not doing this. And I should probably find out if I should do this. Unmanaged resources. I don't think we have any of those. So we don't need to do the unconditional deletion. But we technically need a conditional block to check to see if this thing is disposed already. It'd be nice if something else handled this for us. Alternatively, we use idempotent freeing here. Won't that be fun to search my entire code base for this stuff? All right, well, let's take a look. There are only 41 disposed calls. I mean, how hard could it be, right? That'll always crack me up for the rest of my life. Isn't it handled by Godot anyway? Isn't what handled by Godot? Because like we have a bunch of things we need to free ourselves sometimes, depending on what it is we're freeing. Like this stuff shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, this stuff shouldn't be a problem to call multiple times. In which case, it doesn't really matter if I check this or not. Let's just put a breakpoint here. They use ref counts. I think you're talking about for nodes in a scene, maybe? Like, yeah, they do have ref counts for things, but there are a couple things that need to be done. And it depends on what exactly we're talking about here. If we're talking about nodes, it's like, okay, we need to call queue_free at some point. If you free a parent, it will free the children. But they have to be in the scene tree. Otherwise, I guess they're not children. So it's like, well, yeah. Anyway, there's, I guess, a lot of little things that can go on there. So let's just start a battle and then have it get done. And then dispose should be true, I think. How did this get called already? Yeah, disposing is true. And then that's it. It's never called again. This is a different battle system now. Yeah, so now it's gone and I quit. And yeah, it never gets called again. So it should just always be true, I think, for all of these things. Wait, Blair, I'm just kidding, first of all. I hope you realize that. Yeah, I think it's good, your personal growth about realizing you don't need to make everyone happy. But this was purely a joke here. Like, I'm happy to interact with chat, and if I weren't happy with it, I wouldn't be streaming probably. Hey, Jacksterity, did you make the sounds and music, or how and where did you get it for Skeleseller? So music, yes. Sounds, no. The sounds we got from an asset pack, and then some from some like CC0 licensed sounds. Well, Flair, let me say this. If you're ever concerned when it comes to me, feel free to just ask. You can DM me if you want. I'm happy to tell you if I was serious or joking about something. I think you'll probably be able to tell if I'm serious. Yeah, I think you'll be able to tell. So I don't really know if we have to change anything here. We haven't had any problems anyway. I think we just don't worry about this. I do want to write something in my stream of consciousness for this, though. So I've just been cramming every single date into here. I guess I'll just keep doing that then, huh? All right, so click this, click today. Set this back to 0. I had this note. I looked into it. This, yeah, via this documentation. Oh, my conclusion is that we probably don't have to do anything for Skeleseller. Disposing should always be true. For our cases. And I don't think we've hit a problem yet. So I'm going to assume things are fine. If you're using it and not calling it yourself, it's pretty much impossible to mess something up. All right, well, you know what? We're copy pasting this into my notes. Now takes full responsibility for any bugs that do occur. Done. Give each shopkeep their own lines. This has been bugging me since day one. And I knew it was a problem and I just never did anything about it. Snake with a hat is how we can find it. Yeah, so we have a whole bunch of different lines that a shopkeep can say. But all shopkeeps can say all of these lines and they're randomized. So it's possible that this happens. Where you get into the game and then you make another shop. So you click this one. It says, my dream is own a snake with a hat. You click this one and it could have said the exact same thing. So we got to figure out what we even want to do here because I don't know yet. Option 1 would be split the lines we do have across all 3 shops. How many do we have? Because that might not be a lot. 1, 2, whoop, that doesn't work. Let's search for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We don't have a number that's going to split evenly. We only have 8. We only have 8 lines, but 3 shops. Option 2 is come up with more lines for them. Option 3 is make a system that makes that allows their shopkeeper hive mind to remember which lines were said so that they all can say the same lines but won't until clicked more than 8 times. So I think we're going to go with this. It sounds like the most reasonable thing. I would like to come up with, like, option 2 would have been fine if we hadn't already started localizing things. Because every time we have to add a line here, we have to add it to every language. So adding 1 string is really like adding 7 strings or something, depending on how many languages we're translating to. So yeah, I think we're just going to go with option 3. We are the board shopkeepers. Yeah. All right, so where do we keep track of which lines the shopkeep has said? Used lines. This is inside each shopkeep thing. So we need to store it in some central location, which I guess the only thing that really makes sense is the town. Or just have some static reference somewhere else. And then we just throw used lines in there. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to go find out where we're saving this. Source. Do we have like a shops thing? We have town. I don't see shops. We have buildings. NPCs. Okay, let's put it in NPCs. Yeah. We'll call this shop keep hive mind. Hive mind, one word? Looks like there's a space in it. Yeah, there's just it says less commonly hive mind. Yeah, I'll treat it like there's a space. I just want to figure out the capitalization. All right, so this is gonna be called shopkeep hive mind, and it's gonna be a static class that literally has one property. Public that. Done. Use line. Actually, let's keep that lowercase for now. Get. We don't need to ever set it. Modifier read only is not valid for this. Because because I forgot the static. Give them unique lines when you click like 10 times, annoying the NPCs. I don't want to add new lines though, that's the issue. So what's a comment for this? Each shopkeep has some lines that they can say, but they're not unique. This class is just to avoid repetition between the different shopkeeps. Yeah, I like that they did that in Warcraft and StarCraft. All right, so now we just use this from the hive mind. So we delete this, and then every error turns into an opportunity. Yeah, that's hilarious. All right, there, done. So now what's the problem here? Hive mind does not contain a definition for used lines. It does. What is it talking about? What is this talking about? No, it works. Yeah. So did I do this? Is it done? Build that shop and build the other shop. And now let's save so I don't have to do that again. So I click this one. It says bonjour. Now I click this one. Saw customers some weird pieces of glass. Like this one, I like skeleton. So far, no duplicates. Click this one again. What do you call a skeleton with wiggly bones? Okay, good. Snake with a hat. Thanks for hiring me. So far, so good. And now we should repeat here. Yep, perfect. Okay, cool. The hive mind has been installed. And that's it. That's all we have to do. In fact, I think we can set this to read only. We're only ever creating it here. This is not valid. I don't think I understand why, but I also don't really care. I guess it's read only because there's only a getter on it, so it doesn't matter. So many bone puns. Yeah, I mean, I can only tell you for French. In fact, I wonder what Hideo did for that. Weblate bonjour. Let's find out. He kept it. And I doubt we've translated it for anything else yet, have we? No, we haven't. Yeah, so who knows? There's an unresolved comment. Just like the original pun would require a tiny bit of French knowledge, the translation will require a tiny bit of English knowledge. That's pretty good. Yeah. All right. I'm pretty happy with this. And the change should be pretty minimal. Yeah. Wow, this has been bugging me for so long, and now it's finally fixed. Did I write this anywhere else? Shopkeep. Yeah, here it is. So 701 is going to be fixed. Make shopkeeps into a hive mind. Fixes this. Probably shouldn't do that. It's going to be not obvious. Prevent shopkeeps from duplicating dialogue. Yeah, we just track this in a common location now. Okay. Oh yeah, something like a Disney song translation, that's got to involve some real professionals. Actually, even for dubs, like I was watching Squid Game, which is in Korean, but I was watching it in English dub. And I'm pretty sure they try, I don't know this for sure, but I think they optimize for matching mouth movement. And not in terms of like they use an L sound, so make their tongue like hit the top of their teeth or something, but more that imagine someone responds to somebody else and they just say yes, like one syllable yes. So now they'll try to use a one syllable answer when they translate to English, although with yes, it's probably one syllable in a lot of languages. But maybe something more like they said 12 words in Korean. They're going to try to make it last for that long in English too. I don't have any like great examples of this. I haven't watched in a long time, but yeah, anyway, when it comes to songs, yeah, there is quite a lot to keep in mind. And I wonder, what was it? K-pop Demon Hunters. I wonder what the songs sound like in Korean. Because there's some Korean used in the English version. Is there some English used in the Korean version? In other languages, they probably translate most of it. I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, we have an easier job. And I'm rambling. All right, when we upload the OST, I should probably upload them as separate videos. Yeah. Do I have this over here somewhere? OST. Consider putting the OST on YouTube. Consider putting sheet music if the game does well. Trying this as a line item in 204. I see. Close, but not. Oh, I see. Yeah, this was. Put emphasis on the was there. If I put the OST on YouTube, it should be as separate tracks so that any additional tracks don't obsolete the video. Also, make sure to monetize the video since it's my music. Might as well make some money off of it. How many month one sales would be considered doing well? Oh, you have 277,000 lines. That's a lot. Month one sales. So if we price it at $15 and we have a 20% discount, that brings it down to $12, which then we multiply by 0.7 and then I don't know, 7.5 maybe. So this is Steam's cut and then taxes. I'm just approximating. So we get like $6.30 per sale. I think we made like 50,000. So 50,000 divided by 6.3. So I think we got 8,000 sales. I think that would be doing well. Yeah. When is the next fest? I saw an issue on this. Oh, we can't be in another next fest, but the next one should be in February. Anyway, yeah, probably like 8,000 sales. Do I think that's likely? Not really. No. I think game dev economics are kind of bleak. That's all. Like, I spent all this time. I think I made a pretty good game. And people seem to enjoy it. So now it's about getting the word out there. But man, the number of times I've heard people say, I mean, even today on Discord, someone came into the Discord and said, where is it? Yeah. This general comment I hear so many times. Like, I don't usually play this game, but I liked it. How do you market to these people? How do you find someone who says, oh yeah, I saw your game, but I didn't think I'd play it. And then they play it and they're like, wow, that was really great. How do you reach them? There's got to be some like DNA identifier. And I hack a government database and I find people who have this gene, the I don't usually play this kind of game gene. And then I email them. That's the plan. That's the new marketing plan. You need 26,000 wish list. Yeah, but yeah, maybe. Yeah, but what if Steam takes off? Who knows? Who knows? This will make some margin on your 630. Yeah. Yeah. I think we're going to YOLO a whole lot of this. I will probably ask about the price again before I launch. I don't think they're your target audience, but the capsule and title or something else caught their attention. Maybe it's a viewer. No, I think they were a random person, that particular person. But what I was trying to say is like, okay, even I showed someone this in real life the other day, like a friend of mine, and even he said the same thing. He's like, oh yeah, I wouldn't normally play this game, but that was really good. So like they didn't even look at the Steam materials. I just sat them in front of my computer and said, play this game. I get your point is the same. Like there's probably some way to still reach them. Maybe find out why they liked it. Something that then highlight in trailers. Yeah, and I think I'd probably need to find out why people don't think they'd like these sorts of games. Because what I suspect is maybe they see something like Idle or Idle Light, or they see pixel art or something like that. And it doesn't really matter what I say in the trailer. They'd just be like, yeah, that game's not for me. It's like if I see a horror game, I'm not even going to look into it more. I'm just going to be like, I'm not going to play that game. And I used to be this way about first-person shooters. I'm kind of still this way, I think. But yeah, like a first-person shooter would need to be fantastic for me to want to try it at this point. Not take a complete stranger to your house to play the game. That's the plan. Just invite people off the street. Would you like to play a skeleton game with me? What do you mean? Come to my house, I'll show you. All right, well, this is written down for now. Yeah, and then make sure they're in a playlist. I'll write that down too. In a playlist. And so that the next button works, doesn't go to an unrelated video. MDS. Good to never assign a category to your game in the trailer so people can at least watch it. Yeah. If you're making a first-person shooter, like hide that there are guns. just do the typical movie thing, like in a world where people need to be taught a lesson. And then at the very end, show like one gun and one bullet, and that's it. Put a really tiny text that no one can read. This is a first-person shooter. All right, I confetti for the defeated elite banner. Could add some more impact to it. Maybe it's just a full-screen particle emitter with a parallelogram particle with slight gravity and random colors and spin. I think this is good, but I think this is a polished task that we should probably hold off on for now. See the Black Ops 7 trailer? No, I haven't. Also had an Outlier game, which is a hack and slash, fast-paced parkour game, which I don't usually play. Found it through a devlog. Was that Neon White? Or what was the other game? Oh, God. The one where they were climbing towers and stuff. Blood Thief. Oh, I wasn't going to guess that. Okay. All right, what are we doing? Add confetti to the game. Yeah. All right, make rich text button out of button with custom children for the sake of the purchase skill buttons. The emojis. Emojis. What? What was I talking about? Huh. I don't know what I was talking about. This is probably months ago. Yeah, sure, MDS. You can post a link. I won't be clicking it right now, but other people might. Did we ever make rich text button? Does this exist in the code base? No. I'm going to just delete this. I don't even know what this is about. And I mentioned purchase skill buttons. What did the game ever look like such that this was a problem? Oh, maybe the coin graphic? Oh, it might have been that. Okay, there is a problem that I've wanted to fix, which this is maybe talking about, but I'll just file this into that issue, I think. I do want to publish a new version of the game today. Anyway, the problem I was talking about is this. when you hover over various parts of this, like the graphic itself has a tooltip, but then you go to hover over this part and it opens a new tooltip, and then this part is another one, and then this part is another one. So there are actually 4 different elements with a tooltip, and they're all the same tooltip. And what we should probably do, actually what we should probably do is just have a tooltip for this, right? Why do we even do it for these? I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I didn't think about that. These aren't helpful, are they? I guess so that as you add points, you can see what they do. Maybe I just remove it from this then. Oh, you can still click this too. I don't know. All right, we're not going to do anything about this right now. Probably because the plus and minus shows the level at the bottom. I'm not totally sure what you mean. Oh, and the tooltip you mean. Yeah. I think that's why I had done it. I'm not sure. And I think I like that. So I need to figure out what I want to do about this. Yeah. Hey, Maya. Yeah. All right. So what are we looking for here? Tooltip. Oh, I'm typing T, not S. I'm like, why do I keep going to the thesaurus? Where is this? Oh, here it is. Okay, I had this note from a while ago, which may or may not be relevant here. Oh, this is a mess. We got to copy this as Markdown. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, great. Feedback barrage from November 2024. Wow. So 3D Extended did try to move faster using Shift while viewing the really large map. Yeah, so we never did this. So if you're like really zoomed in, actually it doesn't matter if you're zoomed in or not, does it? Do you always move at the same speed? 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. No, you don't. Okay. I mean, you probably do, but when you're zoomed in, you're gonna look like you're moving slower. Anyway, so you can't press Shift and then you can't press Shift in WASD to move faster. And I think some people expect that. I don't know if it's worth doing this, to be honest. Because the only place you really need to look most of the time is in the same general area. And you eventually get the quick move menu. So yeah, I think we're going to just delete this. All right, add a feature that clicking anywhere on the map closes the currently open dialog like Hire Adventurer without needing to click on Not Now. Thanks. Yeah, people have talked about this throughout the development of the game. Like this says upgrade or maybe later. And people want it so that if you click in the background, you could close this. I don't think we're going to do this now at this point. There are a couple of reasons why not. For one, clicking something else will just delete the old dialogue. So like you're not stopped from doing something. You don't have to click later and then click the new thing. You can just click the new thing. 2 is that Yeah, 2 is that you might have something you want to do. Like let's say I don't have 100 gold. I have 98 and I want to keep this open, but I want to hang on, imagine I already had that. Okay, yeah. So imagine I have 98 gold and I have an item on the ground and I'm like, oh, I want to take this and put it in the garbage slime and now I have enough and I want to click upgrade. So if clicking this closed the dialogue, you'd have to then go open it again. It's not that hard, but it's also not that hard to just click maybe later. Oh, and then finally you can press escape now and you can close this. So yeah, I think we're going to just get rid of this. I want to scream at the customer that only wants to buy one thing and they're walking away from it and someone else takes it. Maybe customers who are going toward a thing they desire move faster for the time that it exists. And if it stops existing, whoops, or they stop desiring, their speed goes back to normal. The other thing we could do here. So yeah, option 1 make those customers move faster. Option 2, make them reserve the item. Option 3, make them wait near the shop that would sell that item. Or like wander near the shop. Option 3 sounds kind of interesting. Do we have... We must have a way of getting skeletons to wait. How do skeletons wait? Drop off item? What does this do? Just reserve the item. Just call it ahead of time. Ask if we have that video game in stock. Somewhere they've got something that makes them wait in the wings. Reach target with intent to drop off item. What? What is this? State based on held item. What? Oh man. Wait with item. Yeah, this. So this has to have a wander region somewhere, right? So if I just search for region or wander. Get random worker idle position. That only kind of works. Yeah, it only kind of works. We need to be able to get a wander region within the shop or in the general area. And I think our wander regions are all in the town. Where are they? Yeah, wander regions. Oh, no, each... No, that's not a shop. That's just the name of it. Okay, so what I was thinking is if a worker... Or sorry, not a worker. If a customer wants, let's say, a yellow potion, they just wander in this area over and over and over until they get their yellow potion. I don't know if I like that. I think making them reserve it is probably the cleanest thing we can do. But we don't have reserved item destinations. We only have reserved item sources. We could kind of turn it into a soft reserve. Like, could do the opposite of this. Make other customers not buy an item that is desired by a customer. Unless that customer also desires the item. Probably best. And there's kind of an option 4 here, which is allow you to manually give the item to the customer. Happy New Year, Vipuff. And happy almost 2 years on your sub. Yeah, thank you. We have been churning through to-do items, just one after the other. And I haven't been taking breaks. I should probably take breaks. Yeah, I don't know what to do about this issue right now. Don't I have something in GitHub about this? Desired items. Allow dragging them onto customers. Changes to introduce trends. Well, what do we have written for this? You should be able to drag a desired item onto a customer and they'll buy it immediately. This may mean that when dragging a desired item for long enough or near enough to a customer, they slow down so you can actually target them. Yeah, let's do this. Yeah. All right, so customers need to become an item destination. How do we do that? Destination should be something. Get all item destinations. Yeah, we need to get like customers as a destination. We already have a highlighter thing for them, don't we? No, maybe we do. We does NPC have an outline thing? It does. We never use this. Well. All right, let's go try this out. Oh, whoops, forgot to check in the UID file. What is the last commit I just made? Git log -1. Yep. Check that in and amend and push. Okay, let's go tackle this. Gonna do this about it. Muscle. Okay, so let's start with making all customers desire items. You shall all want these items. Oh, also, what if they could just pick them up off the ground or walk into your warehouse? Have a drop-off area that's enabled once they get in that state, so you don't drop items on all customers. Yeah. This is something that only when they desire an item would you be able to drop an item onto them. So let's go look up desired items. Seek specific item. Consider buying. Here it is. All right, so percent chance is 1. And can seek is going to be true. So now all customers will want an item, right? Now, how do we pick which one for them to want? Choose item. Get desirable item. Require you to have found at least 2 non-rare items. No. Return item ID dot small blue potion. Okay, so now all of you always want an item, and you always want a small blue potion. And if that's all we did, we should see a bunch of thought bubbles with small blue potions. Probably as soon as they enter town. Maybe after a little bit of time. I don't know when it happens, but it should happen. So just start a new game. And look at these customers. Do you want an item? Whoop, they just leave? What? I didn't even think that was possible. They just walked right out of town. I guess that is possible, but what causes them to do that? I don't think I've ever seen that. Chance to leave. If they've gotten fewer than 3 items, they have a 1% chance to leave. And that customer is like, I have had enough of this town. Wow, maybe I should stop that from happening. That is pretty funny. Yeah, so how about we stop that? Time since entering town. We only use this here. I mean, we can put it in the customer thing. Time entering town has a setter as well, though, which we set inside here. Okay. Yeah, I'll make a public double time since entering town. There we go. Now we use that from over here. If entity.time is less than that. And yeah, let's not allow them to leave. Well, actually, if they're going to leave the town, leaving after 2 seconds is better than leaving after 4 seconds. But nothing stops them from leaving after 4 seconds. But this would stop them from leaving until 10 seconds have passed. When customers are moving at turbo speed toward the end of the game, 10 seconds is probably long enough for them to buy a couple items. Yeah, let's at least not let them leave within the first, 5 seconds of being there. Time... entity.time since entering town. It's less than, time in town before idle checks. How far can they go in 10 seconds if they're moving at turbo speed? Well, we gotta go get turbo speed. So we click that. We click that, and this one. So that's the fastest customers can move. So let's just count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so it was barely long enough for them to go from the weapon shop to the armor shop. That's not like they're going to zip all over the place and buy 400 items or something. It's just 10 seconds. Wonder what would happen if we had a mode like that, where you just drop items on customers all the time. I guess your shops would have no purpose, right? I guess you've been working for many months or years now in Godot and C Sharp. How do you like it? Did you encounter performance issues or blocking Godot bugs? Will you possibly try a different engine for the next game? Are you happy? I like it. I think I'm going to use Godot and C Sharp for the next game. So did I encounter performance issues or blocking bugs? Perf issues, some, yes. I wouldn't say they're C Sharp's fault or anything. Blocking Godot bugs. Oh, man. There have been some nasty Godot bugs, I would say, but blocking is hard to say. Yeah, I think everything so far has had a workaround, except for maybe there's a controller problem we have on Linux right now. And I don't know if there's going to be a fix for this. And I don't think there's anything we can do about it, or at least not easily. So if that ends up totally blocking us, yeah, we might have an issue. In fact, if this turns out to be unsolvable, let me write a note about this. If we can't work around this bug, we should definitely warn Linux users. Wait, Linux users? This is a problem on Steam Deck. Oh, God. Oh, no. Only once. Need to see what this experience would be like on Linux. Will you officially support Linux? Yeah. Yeah, there's already a Linux build. Even compiled from source to debug. I vaguely remember this, but I don't remember what the bug was. Something about viewports, I think. I don't recall. Just don't build for Linux IMO, and Steam should default to Proton. Siletics. You saw Raimi celebrate his 10-day streak and you didn't say anything? Or 7 days or whatever? I was actually going to pull up your chat history and throw your message in his face at that time. Something like that, yeah. I only distantly remember. All right, well, anyway, we got customers wanting items, so great. Why doesn't this one want an item? Aren't you forced to? What are you doing? Why are you just running around not wanting an item? How is it not? There it goes. I guess because of this, chance to wander is 10%. Okay, so they just hit a 10% chance all the time. Snake dead. Game outro time. Nice, nice, nice. No issues at all? Okay, yeah. Maybe it was just a one-off thing that, yeah. Either way, I don't really know what I would do about it. Doc someone. It was in Twitch chat, so it was already a public thing. All right, so now that we have customers wanting items, we need to turn them into drop zones. So how do we do that? Cycler is an item destination and has a drop zone. I mean, do we need both of these? Why do we do that? Garbage slime. I'm actually not sure why we do this. We give it a drop zone, but then we also allow you to just drag it onto the slime itself. Why don't we just have the drop zone? I accepts item. I accepts item. Huh, interesting. This adds get drop off point and get outline shader. This doesn't. But it has this, and it's got to be an item destination. Okay, I understand. You're forced to make your own tooltip because you can't theme the built-in one. Yeah, that one's not too bad though. Like, I think that's pretty reasonable. Because even if you could theme the built-in one, you'd also probably want things like animations and, well, just animations, which maybe you might consider part of theming. Okie dokie. So wait, no, hang on. There's one other thing that does make sense. Why did this have to be a drop zone? Why couldn't we just make the destination larger? Yeah, that's curious. That is quite curious. Get drop off point. So what does this do? I understand. So if you have something, if you have a drop zone, you have to have the item destination. But why the other way around? Get closest drop location. Couldn't we have just changed this? Global position. This is burning my brain right now. Town, clicked item, destination. Storeroom, where's the recycler? Here. Item drop zone, hover changed and clicked. I accept item. Is that this? It is. I don't think this was necessary. Why not use Jai? Isn't Jai not even publicly released? I don't think I'd try to get into like a beta program or something. But in general, I'm pretty happy with Godot and C#. Part of really any software engineering you do is, I think at some points you should look into how could I improve my processes and not just what do I know. But sometimes you just want to iterate quickly. And it is possible that learning and then iterating on a new thing is faster than iterating on a thing you already know. Maybe what you're doing is so obtuse. But another consideration is we have whatever number of lines I just showed over here. Clock, game source. So yeah, we have 57,000 lines. Like that's 57,000 lines of code that we could reuse for a new game. And also that if we do reuse, we could potentially make like a library out of it and have reusable components for everybody. Because we'll at least see patterns in how it's used across different games. So, yeah, I don't know. All right. Well, I don't have a great understanding of this. We need the item drop zone so that we have a location, the actual clickable area. That's what this is. And I guess item destination isn't forced to have that. So it's really just to make things easier. Interesting. Yeah, that's literally it. All right, I should maybe write a comment or something for that. But yeah, so we want these to be a destination and a drop zone, just like the other things. If we don't have another area, then yeah, that's I guess what we would do. And we don't. So, okay. Alrighty. Well, let's paste in a drop zone then, huh? Item drop zone. So this is only when they desire the item. So we're going to make this pretty large. It's got to be a collision shape 2D that has a rectangle. And like I said, pretty large. I mean, it shouldn't be like gigantic, but that's probably good. Yeah, so it's like double the size of the customer on the sides and like 75% the height on the top and bottom. Okay. So there's our item drop zone. Do we need anything else there? No, I think that's pretty much it. And we got to make sure to turn this off later. I'm not going to do that yet, though. So now we got to go implement this entire thing. So let's put that stuff here. So get drop off point is going to be just get the global position. The outline shader. Recycler, get outline shader. outline holder dot shader material. It's probably going to be the same thing. But we don't actually fetch outline holder. NPC has it? Seriously? And this is not an NPC? Oh boy. All right, well, this doesn't even have an outline holder. Interesting. I guess we should do that. Which means this probably doesn't even have a shader. Sprite does not have a shader. Wow. Okay, let's load up outline. Which means this needs to prune its sprite. It does. Hang on 1 second. Okay. When he has the highest health, I'm not seeing the attack redirected to him. I think it's highest health by the non-obvious way. What's the golem's buff called? Or what's the... I don't remember what's this even called. Earthen Taunt. Earthen Taunt buff. So it has the most absolute life. So they could be at 100% life and something else could get targeted. And that was intentional. Well, I should have written a comment for why. I think there was a C# update that doesn't warn you about assigning nulls to members initialized at runtime anymore. Can you remove the exclamation mark? Yeah, we can remove this. And it is mentioning this here too. Although I don't want to context switch to that right now. I need an outline holder to get the shader material here. Why do I do this? Cut down on duplication of shared code. There are nodes that have outline shaders that all have some boilerplate. Yeah, okay, sure. Let's put that over here. Wouldn't he have the highest absolute life? Not necessarily. If your golem was level 1, then maybe, I don't know how much it actually has. Maybe it has 200 life. Whereas if your archer is level like 15, then maybe it has, let's say, like 1,000 max life. So that when it's at 25%, it's only at 250. But don't forget that guild supplies can also change how much life these have. So they could be the same level, and the archer's just a higher guild level, maybe. So yeah, it might help if you share how much life they both have. Just whatever you see in the character sheet. Because that should tell the full story, I think. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. It's not actually the max HP. It's just your current life value as opposed to percent HP. So yeah, if the golem has 60 life and the archer has 59, then the golem will get targeted. But there's nothing in the game that tells you that it has 60 or 59 life. All you have is a health bar that shows you a percentage. So I know it's not what the player can see. I don't know what the skeleton's been doing since I wrote that message. Might have just eclipsed it. They probably are being raised pretty evenly, unless you specifically had archer chests with selective loot. Was this just in a regular battle or was it in a boss battle? Because bosses might do something different. Yeah, actually, if it was a boss battle, there could have been a confounding rule in there. Especially if it was like the killer fly trap or something. Anyway, outline holder, let's go get this. So outline holder. And then we have to point this at the sprite. And we have to fetch that. Yeah, here it is. I'm pretty much committing to doing this. I was originally going to just prototype this, but probably not anymore. All right. So now we set this in ready. We don't even have any get node calls. Base. Oh, because of walking entity. All right, so now we fetch that. Great. Element should declare an access modifier. Yep, public. Boss explains it. I forgot the boss does. Big snake. Giant snake? Yeah, here it is. Battle map flavor text. Poisons its target. Poison lasts forever and gets stronger each time. Snake will heal itself when it's dodge or misses. Also immune to poison. Yeah, so I'm guessing the archer got hit once a while ago and now it's taking poison damage. That's possibly what you were witnessing. All right, so now we need all of these functions. Wait, there are only 2? Wait a second. What? Huh. There are only a total of 4 functions then. Well, well, well. All right, so write public on both of these. So item drop zone is going to be just item drop zone. Item drop zone. Good. Ready. Sure. These should both have percent signs. Because I'm pretty sure I wrote those into the scene. I did. And then the final thing we need to do is write out this function. Get closest drop location. Seems awfully simple. Customer does not implement interface drop off item. Oh, right. I knew it. Okay. I forgot. There are 3 more functions. I knew something was wrong. Start jumping around. Hope the cutscene is enough and people aren't like, I want more. I want to see more out of this game. Properties should not follow a method. All right, anything else? What do we have? Just 3 functions. Okay. So drop off item, will accept item, and get reason why it will not be accepted. This actually don't want to ever return anything. I guess it could say the customer does not desire that item, but then this wouldn't ever be a problem. String.empty. Will accept item, we're going to just say is true, but to do change this to check if the customer desires the item. And then drop off item, this one might be tricky. Drop off item, what has to happen here? Fly in item to node and return 0. All right, so fly an item to node, and then once it makes it there, we need to like satisfy the desire. So I'll just call this testeroni for now. Private void testeroni. So g.print the customer consumed the item. So like to do make them stop desiring the item, grant money and show the tip. Yeah. All right, this is a much more involved commit than I thought it would be. And now we need to return from here. We need to return whatever the remaining quantity is. Int quantity equals item get quantity. Quantity? There. Yeah, so return quantity minus 1. And now what does this do? Parent, item, end position, start position on arrived. This all seems fine. I think. I don't know. You might need to add the item back to its original source. Oh boy. Yeah, here. Something like this code, I think. How does this work? Remaining quantity. So get the item quantity. And then subtract immediately. Yeah, so item.quantity minus minus. And then get the remaining quantity returned at the end. Can't we just do item.quantity here? I wonder if that's a mistake for some reason, because fly an item to node might handle it automatically. It wouldn't in this case, though. Do you use AI while coding? Yeah, I do. I use Copilot. All right, now what's the problem with this? Cannot convert method group to something that takes in an item. Oh yeah, right. This thing takes in an item. Okay, wow. So we've implemented all of these things. Use auto property. What does it even mean? What? What just happened? What did that do? I am a little confused by that. I'm going to check this in so I can actually see the diff, because I don't know what this does. Oh, this is some new C# feature, right? Oh, okay, sure. All right, so now the town just needs to get them as a valid destination. So we need to get all of the potential customers that might want this item. This is for entity. This isn't right. Get valid, get all item destinations. Yeah, and then this will check to see if it'll accept this. Customers. Where do you even get the customers? We have a collection of them. I am gonna add this in and we'll just see what happens. Let's try it. So this can't possibly work end to end yet because I haven't coded it all, but I hope that I can now drop an item onto a customer. Yeah. So they need to desire an item first. And then the only way we'll know that this worked is because you'll see something print out over here. So there they are. That one wants an item. So now we're going to do this. And now I'm holding the item. And we're going to click over here. And it did not work. I wonder why not. Also, I don't know if this is done in order, but if it is done in order, we want the customers to actually be first. So let's look at customer. Will accept item is here. This should get hit. Yeah, so it did. And it returns true. And that's over here. So now we go through valid destinations and we get whatever's closest. And then highlight it. And then handle when you try dropping this thing off, which is never hit. Maybe that is, though. No. I'm missing something. I don't know what. Let's take a look at the recycler, wherever they show up. No, there's nothing else there. I don't recall what I'm missing. Destination will accept. We know we're hitting this. Go through all possible ones. Where do we get the closest one of these? Hover drop zone. Drop zone hover changed. I don't see a problem. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. There's some piece of this puzzle that I have not remembered. Because all the stuff that is on my radar, I think we're doing correctly. Closest drop location is this. Will accept item is true. This is never a thing. Oh, the mushrooms are probably going to go away. This too, string dot empty. Does this show anywhere? There's an achievement for the apples. That exists. It's not for the mushrooms. Yeah, maybe it's saying why this thing won't work. I don't know why that would be the case, though. Or maybe this is wrong. Maybe it's not getting the item drop zone. Or something else I need to do. This isn't disabled. Its input should be set to pickable. It is. What am I missing? Its collision shouldn't matter, right? It's set to 1 and 1. No, it doesn't matter. What is set to pickable? This stuff shouldn't matter either. Oh, I'm missing something. I just can't figure it out. Working on that one? Yeah. That one's one of the only ones you can't really speed up. There's no perks or anything for that. Why won't you take this? And what code did I even just change? Because I changed something. Oh, this. Yeah. Does this show anywhere? Yeah, and it's not showing anywhere. They're also not really highlighting correctly, I think. I think I need to change their shader somehow. Shader parameters. Yeah, like this probably needs to change. I don't know what I have set for it right now. All right, 1, 0, on, off, blue. Oh, blue is slightly different over here. Yellow, yeah. So just that color changes. I'm not even certain what that's used for, but we'll copy it anyway. Copy value. There. I don't think that would have mattered. So I am drastically messing this up. All right, well, I think it's that we're not getting the drop zone correctly. And I don't know if that auto property caused this, because we don't do this in walking entity, do we? Item drop zone. Or NPC item drop zone. No, whatever the recycler is, something has an item drop zone here. This thing has its own one. Get private set. No, we do this. And customer does this too, right? Huh. Huh, indeed. I am just not figuring this out. Well, that almost always means to take a break. So, how about this? Let's look at one last thing here, which is what causes this thing to highlight. First of all, let's get it, and then get that, and then do this. Yeah. So do I ever need to initialize the drop zone? Oh my God, if I do. No, I don't. But there might be some other init thing that I just forgot about. No. Oh, an event handler to know that I actually hovered over this thing. That's what I'm missing. All right, I'm glad I looked at this. Yeah, so when you create the garbage slime, we do this. I knew I forgot something. Man, that's so easy. So where do we make a customer here? Yeah. Customer instance. That should do it. Then I can take a break. It's also too hot in here now. So all we're going to see still is what I said earlier, which is that it's going to print out something like the customer consumed the item, but it's not actually going to consume anything. But as long as it prints something, I'm happy. And even hovering over it should work a little bit better now. What happened here? Oh yeah, that's good. So it took the item and then it caused an error. Hey, it's better than what we had before, right? Argument out of range. So this is me setting the quantity to be less than what we're allowed. Item bin had some way of doing this. Quest item will be turned in. What? Oh, I'm so confused. Okay, so the remaining quantity that we have should just be the quantity. Yeah, we should be able to return 0. Like the chef slime, presumably, or the garbage slime, always takes all of the item. So we return 0 in this case. Yeah, same thing for the chef slime, I'm guessing. Yep, return 0. In our case, we want to return 1 less than whatever we had, because it only accepts 1 item. I guess treasure chests kind of work that way. Oh, you can only hold 1 key at a time, so we always return 0 there too. Well, item displays allow you to pass in any number you want. So added quantity, remaining quantity is this. We make a new item. Huh. Interesting. That's probably what I'm missing here. 2 more levels, I'll be max level, then I watch the outro. Did you time this run by any chance? I know you played very differently. I'm curious how long it took you to beat it. Okay, so where I left off with this is I need to handle dropping off just 1 from the items. Oh, wait a second, though. No, we don't. No, we don't. We need to always give the customer all of the item that you're holding. They'll take whatever you're willing to give them. So return 0. So this is going to be just like the garbage slime. Yeah. All right, let's try that. It's been about 5 hours. Okay, yeah. Just got to get all of them achievements. Yeah, did the pacing seem good? Again, I know you played it differently from how you normally do, and I know you played a couple times already. Does anything stand out as like, oh, I hit a wall? Man, Abby won't stop meowing out there. Yeah, nice. All right, this is great. Yeah, this is going well. And I'm glad we're doing this too, because this has been something that's been bugging me for a while. So one of the things we have to make sure is make sure that the customer doesn't take an item unless it desires the specific thing you're offering them. Make sure they don't even show highlights if they don't desire an item. All right, I'll be back in just a bit. I'm going to take a break. Is it jump time? It's jump time. Hello again. Close the game. Close the game. There we go. All right. So will they accept the item as if it's exactly the desired item, which is right there? So item.id equals desired item. And that they're currently desiring an item, right? Do we set this back to none? Yes. This will be cref equals item ID dot none when the entity does not desire an item. Cool. I think it feels great. It does get seriously challenging at the Yeti. I'm okay with that. The power level after the Swamp Witch. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I think you might mean the Enchantress. But there is kind of a swamp and that has the ugly slime there. It's not that the name matters necessarily. I think it's funny. Can never remember the name, so that's fine. That's fine. All right, so this is done. This should be string.empty because it should never show up anywhere. And then we shouldn't even highlight them unless they want an item. So public bool does desire an item is like that. I wonder if we ever check this desired item not equal to. Yeah, we do. And then I think we need to use this from town so that when we say get all item destinations, we check for validity somewhere. I think it's based on whether they'll accept it. So I think we're already fine. Yeah. Yeah, the boss item descriptions are the best ones in my opinion. Because they're rare enough that I know that, like, okay, if someone reads this, they should be rewarded for reading it. All right, now this should just work. So if I try dragging an item to a customer that doesn't want it, they don't highlight. But then as soon as they do want it, they'll hopefully highlight. Please work, please work, please work. Hello? Could one of you please want a potion? Yeah, I can't click them. It doesn't say anything here, though. Ah, now they get highlighted. Although only... Oh, they're using the same shader. Okay, I see. Neat. Neat, neat, neat. Okay. So we got to say local to scene. That'll fix that problem. And then we got to make them want different things and clean up the rest of this code. Never even saw those. Like the boss items? I've got some of them on Blue Sky. Let me share the link. This post. I mean, I can just show them on screen. They're just 4 items. There are some other ones too, but yeah. Yeah, in-game item database. Yeah, LiveGB suggested that too. So one way you can see them is at the end of the boss battle, they'll show at the top of that window. And then as long as you don't change the window or anything, you could read the description, but people don't generally read that. Yeah, the Yeti blood. It's the exact same graphic that we used as Ogre blood. All right, so if I try dragging the wrong item to you. Yeah, so we need a proper string there, which probably needs something that needs to get translated. And then if I try dragging the correct item to you, which is just that one little potion. Yeah, it doesn't make them stop desiring an item. I want to do some more things. The stick, that's from the ugly slime. It just gives you 1 gold, nothing more. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Only one of you. I want only one of you to desire an item. Yeah. Nope. Drat. Oh, also, this doesn't move to where they are. It moves to where they were. Oh, that's something we never had to worry about. Maybe as soon as you do this, we should make the customer stop moving. Since fly functions or whatever just keeps track of a single location, not an updating location. If we do this, then the customer should be made to move again afterward. It could even be a special state like getting desired item. Imagine if it was from the snake. Yeah, the snake drops like a ludicrous number of antidotes. I think it's like 50. Could make fly to moving target. We could also potentially change this so that instead of end position being a vector 2, it could be a function that returns a vector 2. How does this work though? Yeah, we tween just based on the end position. So we need to change this to be like tween method and then fetch what the end position is. And it could, yeah. I don't necessarily think it's worth it. So I am starting to lose some steam here. And I don't want to stop mid-commit. But I also wanted to publish a new version of the game today because my friend's going to try it tomorrow. It'd be great if I could finish this tonight. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen though. Oh, right. That's why I wanted to try this, because I wanted to see what happens when a customer who doesn't want this, like these get highlighted. But yeah, only the ones who want to get highlighted. So we can't use string.empty for this. Actually, we might be able to. Reason why it won't be accepted. This actually can show if you try dropping an invalid item for sure. So if I try putting any of these items there, yeah, it shows a blank string. We could just stop that. Yeah, we probably should. Or not even have this get triggered by that code. Customer doesn't desire. What happens if you satisfy the desire though? So I want to give this to this. Oh, it doesn't work that way. Yeah, what happens? I guess we just need to do this with new customers, like as soon as they enter town. Yeah, and it shows then too. Or if you try dropping one when they don't desire anything. Maybe we should just make this not spawn a notification. Willis, how'd you get art for your game? Did you make it yourself or hire an artist or something? Yeah, I dark linked in the credits. That's got all the sources of art that we had. Largely Quickie Joe. I did not make any of it myself. Reset our gameplay stats for 2026. Watching them climb minutes after doing that is fun. Let's see what people are playing now. Not real game dev. I mean, it's real game dev. I don't know why you'd say it's not real. You're making a game for people to play, right? All adventures level 20. Nice. And did you get all the achievements? What are you even missing as far as achievements go? Oh, I guess all the bone mode ones, which should be working. But what other ones even exist? Skeleseller achievements. It's easier to search on Google than it is to search in the code base. Oh, that's weird. None of them show here. Huh. They show on this page. So that you must have. Defeat all the bosses you've done. Get all adventures level 20 you just did. Max every perk you've probably done. Get this much gold. Did that happen already? Oh, you skipped the intro? Okay, well, you could have gotten it, I guess. And then, yeah, all the bone mode stuff. Yeah. And this one? Did you have fun doing that one? Hmm. It's pretty easy if you have all the perks. There's so much loot on the ground right now. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to stash this for now. Update. I stashed this as... Can't you do -M or something? Yeah. Manually giving customers items. There we go. All right, so now we're in a clean state. Well, except for that I'm pressing keys for no reason. Hopefully I didn't modify anything. Yeah, so I want to publish a new version of the game. Let's go to GitHub. Tackle more to-do items. These were all over the place. All right, what do we do? Files changed 105. I remember this stuff. Okay, let's look through the commits. Yeah, we're going to need to do this for the patch notes anyway. So I'll hold off on this for now. So we'll do this when we get to the patch notes. Actually, no, you know what? Let's take a look at this. Does any of this affect the demo? That one does. That one does. That one does. Yeah, okay, enough of these do where I should probably publish a demo version too. Fix bug with right-clicking. What was that? Oh, yeah. Lots of little issues. Yeah. Actually, a decent amount of these affect the demo. Yeah, a decent amount of these do. Wow, that's pretty good, actually. Because that means that at least these little polish level things that we did are going to affect people who haven't even paid for the game yet. So they'll get a better experience. And I mean, look, we did like 30 commits. Most of these are player facing. Is this one player facing? Well, could be, but it's just an error message printing on the console. All right, let's go merge this. And then we'll publish the demo. All right, releasing. Make sure we're on main. Do I have instructions? All right, close all tabs. Don't save. Don't save anything. Reload. Probably should have run .NET format. Oh well, I'll do that some other time. Okay. All right, let's do it. So we just need patch notes. I published the new demo just a day or two ago, something like that. Everything's a blur right now, so I don't remember. I want a new demo, version 0813, sounds good. All right, just let that run while we go figure out when I did this. December 30th. Okay, so what happened since December 30th? Just that. Yeah, just that. Okay. So we'll just copy all of this. This technically, I'm not going to write about this. I'm not going to write about this either. This only affects the playtest. Improved performance is probably pretty important. Performance. Keep stealing your crop. All right. Doesn't matter. This isn't worth probably clarifying to people. I didn't even do this on stream as far as I know, did I? No, I think I did this off stream. So this is kind of interesting. The garbage slime has 3 levels of seek food. Seek food level 1 is a 15-second cooldown. Level 2 is a 5-second cooldown. And level 3 is a 0-second cooldown. So if you leveled up all 3 at once, what would happen is we would set an internal timer to 15 seconds. And then you get to level 2 and level 3 and it'd still be at 15 seconds. So it sounds like it should have no cooldown, but it'd still be counting down. And you have to wait 15 seconds for it to happen. Now I made sure that doesn't happen anymore. So now it's at most 2 seconds, I think. Ever thought about rebranding? I have thought about rebranding. In fact, I just had a calendar reminder pop up about this. But I don't know what the new brand would be. And I don't want to lock myself into game dev either. So it'd need to be some like generic thing that contains Adam in it. It's impossible to do with no loot. Yeah, yeah. Well, I think it's just hard to do with no loot. You could do it probably. All right, so improved performance. Made seek foods initial cooldown more forgiving. Or like more generous. I don't know what to say. Improve seek food so that leveling it up quickly doesn't punish you in terms of cooldown. This is pretty minor though. Don't care about that. Lower time to get a weapon tooltip. Tip, that doesn't really matter. Like fix some minor bugs. Like this with the right clicking I'm not going to talk about. Oh, added a new building sound. Nicer sounding building sound, yeah. Okay. Add graphic for when the golem uses earthen shield. I guess I can upload to Steam now. Delayed the mage projectiles to match fireball and ice blast to match the casting animation. Yeah, like fix minor bugs, and this is a minor UI improvement. Yeah. I don't care about that either. Doesn't matter. Decrease cost of the second adventure. This is quite minor. But it will signal to players that they should get their second adventure before unlocking the canyon. That doesn't matter. Make item displays in the warehouse and shop easier to click. Don't care about this stuff. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, it's marked achieved now. Oh, that's too bad. I guess if you had them on the ground, the slime would probably automatically eat them at some point. Okay, so go to this page and make it public. I should probably run this. Let's do it. Oh, not that. What happened there? Sign into Steamworks. Default. What version is this? 0813. I want to hear that building sound. Actually, I also want to see the exclamation mark thing. Oh yeah, you can get it from the warehouse too. That's right. Okay, skip this. I think that needs to be base heavy. I think I should have boosted that somehow. Yeah. The mage just won in 11.3 seconds. I wonder how long it takes the rogue to win. Outro time for real. Nice. All right, let's go make this public on Steam. Give me a sec. Done. It is now public. Now we got to make a patch notes thing. Post on Steam. Open. Game minor. Look at prior ones. I don't want cover art for this. I hope it's not absolutely required. All right. More improvements. Wait, I want this to be like a proper list. All right, well, this is going to fight me, isn't it? Good. Cool. Had a better sound, improved performance, improved seek food so the leveling it up quickly doesn't punish you in terms of cooldown. Fixed minor bugs. Added graphic. Made the mage projectile decrease the cost. Made item displays easier to click. Cool. And I do want to rearrange these a little bit. Hey, who cares? Well done. You liked it? Good, good, good. All right, so fixed minor bugs should probably be at the bottom. And what else? Yeah, everything else is actually pretty minor. Lots of minor changes. This is just to make the game. Yeah. There will probably be a few other such changes before the release date. Oh yeah, I should probably write this here. Skeleteller now has a release date. It is Tuesday, March 17th, 2026. That means it's 74 days from this post, at least in my time zone. Lots of minor changes to announce. Probably a few other such changes before the release date, which cover polish level tasks. Hope you enjoy. No one's ever going to read this. It doesn't matter. Save and publish. Don't care about artwork. Yep, that's fine. Might need to watch a few more times. It's intentionally fast. All you should really be able to see is like Back to Adventuring and Stupid Entitled Adventurers. So as long as you read those two things, I think it's fine. And then no one will read this is pretty much true. The last one had 1 thumbs up. So yeah, how many people do you think saw that? In fact, I think we can see the stats on how many people saw it. Yeah, 12 unique views. So yeah, no one's really reading this stuff. I'm just doing it to get in the habit of it. So that was the demo. Now we want to publish the playtest. And for this one, I think it's going to yell at me that I don't have environment variables set. Saying 12 people to find my bots. I'm one of those people. This is going to complain immediately, won't it? Yep, it will. Okay, let's go fix it. Engage privacy mode. All right, give me a sec. I got to type in a password I don't even know. Come on. Come on. One of these days, I'm going to type it right in the chat. I'm going to just hit paste and enter so fast. All right, there we go. Now I got to clear this, wipe out my clipboard, close out of that thing. And we can go back to normal. Whoops. Whoops, you didn't see that. Here's what that scene was. You can see a lamp back there. You never saw that. All right, 0924. So let's go do this. Fixed issue with showing boss levels improperly if you fought the same boss a bunch of times. Playtest news. Better view of the hair. Yeah, I gotta get a haircut pretty soon. I would have done it earlier this week, but there's been a lot going on. I feel like I'm gonna be busy right up until March 17th. I got all of them, right? Yeah. There are only minor changes in this release. All right, paste this in here. People actually do see this one. Does it have any significance other than being 12 days after I turned 30? March 5th is your birthday? March 5th, 96? I'm writing that down. No, it does not. Birthday dox. I mean, you self-doxed. That's not me doxing you. But I am going to write it down, and I am going to wish you a happy birthday on your birthday now. And that'll show you to ever tell me any information whatsoever. All right, go to here and put the build on default. I wonder if you can automate this part. Because, like, I don't really care if I push a playtest version that breaks the game for a lot of people. Well, I kind of do now, I guess. I'm sharing this with influencers. And there we go. Everything's online. You could say PPI, personal information. All right, I'm pretty happy with the progress from today. Oh, how many characters did we get down to? 20,000. Nice. And we'd be lower if I'd gotten none of that customer stuff. Because this on its own accounts for 900. Yeah, we're at 20,012. Afternoon. Published a new demo and playtest with mostly minor changes. Yeah. And this will delete even more now, which actually should bring us down below 20,000, right? 19,999. I'm writing it down. That's a good number. All right, you know what? I'm gonna do this for flare as soon as I find. Why is this not working? There we go. This is Flare's game. It's the least descriptive. I think it's only fair. Okay, so I want to chat for just a little bit here. What time is it? 3:31. Did I shortchange you all on stream time today? I did, but I'm I'm done. I can only do to-do items for so long. Anyway, yeah, so this is one of the metrics I'm really focused on right now. Days until March 17th, which again, for me is 74 days, although today's pretty much done now. So it's like 73 days left. And if we just look at weekdays until, oh, it said there, 52. 52 weekdays. I do plan on working every weekday, but I might also work some nights or weekends if I can. I don't really feel like it's crunch time, but I don't want to delay the launch, and I don't want it to be like March 1st and say, man, I really should use my time better. I also don't want to burn out. So I have a lot of competing interests right now. But yeah, in that time, in those 74 days, we have to finish up with these things. And a lot of these are like 80% done. Like achievements, I need to change some pictures. I probably need to add like 2 more achievements. That shouldn't be too bad. Controller support is kind of a mess. There's a lot to do there. Finish bone mode. I hope this isn't too hard to do. But I wanted to add 10 more scenarios that are mostly just based on the existing 10 that we had. So like you just copy paste them and make them hard mode versions. That might take some time. Stabilize and fix bugs. We've been doing this. We've like been doing this. We need a new trailer. That I don't think I can do on stream. And I think that's really important. Churn through this to-do list as part of stabilizing and fixing bugs. And then, yeah, finish the launch tasks. And while we're doing that, we're marketing. So there's quite a lot to do. Yeah, quite a lot. But we're getting through it. So I'm excited. I hope you're all excited. If anyone wants to help, the main ways that you can help is either with localization. We still need German, Italian, Portuguese, and that's pretty much it. We need Spanish as well, but I think Spanish is going to be covered by Kevin. Localization and just spreading the word. So if you haven't already like played a demo, share the demo, talk to your favorite influencers about the demo / release. Yeah. And yeah, this part in particular, I think is really good because the localization stuff, I do have some people who are helping out with this already, but I don't have anyone who's helping out with the or the marketing stuff. Don't forget to tweet everybody. Don't forget to go to your street corner and say, hey, play Skeleseller. Go to skeleseller.com. No, but really what this represents, at least by the time it's done, will have been almost exactly 2 years of hard work. Yeah. And I think it's easy to look at a game when it's done and be like, oh, yeah, this is how long it would take me to make it. And 1, you'd be wrong. And 2, of course, it's easier when you're looking at a completed game because you don't need to do any of the mistakes that they made. Like, we had abilities that didn't make sense. We had locations that didn't make sense, systems that didn't make sense. So when you look at the final game, it's like none of those are in the game. So if you just look at like, oh, hey, we have to copy these 10 things, it's easy. Easy. Yeah, now look at the first 2 weeks of the game. Yeah, exactly. VODs. Never forget. Let's click here. What is this, day 6? All right, day 6, Adam. What did you know? What were your woes? Do I ever actually like show the game over here somewhere? Was that the game? Oh, man. Do I like run the game at some point? I maybe never did. Or if I did, it was for such a short amount of time, it didn't even show in the VOD. All right, let's just click ahead to something like this. Skeleseller day 9. I just want to find a picture of what this looked like. Yeah, that was day 9. That's what the battle system looked like. Wow. Crazy. Yeah, it's crazy what it takes to make a game. And then I want to do this nightmare again this year. When I go even 3 months back, my game is unrecognizable. Yeah, these time frames, as when you only have one dev working on it, yeah, it's a lot. All right, I'm gonna get going. Let me find someone to raid. Okay, yeah, we haven't raided Fern in a while. Let's raid Fern. So funny looking at the joy from the stream, Adam, seeing the health bars lower as expected. Current Adam looking at it in disgust. I showed it too late. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Alex. All right. Well, like I said, thank you all for watching. I'll be back on Monday. Should be another full day. Should be probably more of this. Maybe we'll do some marketing related things. But take care. Have a good weekend and Happy New Year again.